The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A proclamation from the Holy Gospel according to St. John.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Early in the morning of the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb. She saw that the stone had been moved away. So she ran off to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one Jesus loved, and told them, "The Lord has been taken from the tomb. We do not know where they have put him." At that, Peter and the other disciples started out on their way toward the tomb. They were running side by side, but then the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He did not enter, but bent down to peer in, and saw the wrappings lying on the ground. Presently Simon Peter came along behind him and entered the tomb. He observed the wrappings on the ground and saw the piece of cloth which had covered the head, not lying with the wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. Then the disciple who had arrived first at the tomb went in. He saw and believed. Remember, as yet they did not understand the scripture that Jesus had to rise from the dead. My dear sisters and brothers, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So, happy Easter to everyone. Can you greet each other? Happy Easter, especially those who are in their homes now. Happy Easter indeed, the Lord is risen. Alleluia. But you may ask yourself, am I really happy? Am I in a state of happiness in the midst of what is going on now? Or is there still fear and anxiety deep in my heart? It's Easter, but most probably we can say the feeling sometimes is still a Good Friday. So the first message that we can get from this resurrection of Jesus is his greeting of peace. We will hear it repeated by Jesus again and again to those whom he will appear in the so-called resurrection narratives. So as to receive this gift of peace, may I invite you now to close your eyes, gently close your eyes, and put your hand on your chest. Feel what is there inside your heart. Is there fear about coronavirus? Is there fear that maybe my loved ones would get infected? Is there worry that my friends will get sick? Is there fear that those patients who are already positive could get worse? If these are all our feelings inside our heart, let us listen to the message, to the words of Jesus telling us, do not be afraid. I am with you. I have conquered the world. I bring you peace, peace in your heart. Let Jesus touch your heart, the risen Lord who has overcome death, who has overcome the evil one, that we too may be able to share with the victory of Jesus by his resurrection. Now, the second point, I would like you to join me, reflect on the gospel today. You know, this Easter season, we will hear often the word rise. He is risen. Jesus rose from the dead. You know that the word rise can be understood in different levels. If in the gospel we have been told that the disciples, Peter, John, and even Mary Magdalene did not understand the meaning of that empty tomb, the pieces of clothing that were left inside the tomb. They did not understand. So as for us now also, let us try to understand the meaning of rise in three levels. First is to rise can mean to rise from sleep when you are awake. Kung sa Tagalog pa ay gumising ka sa iyong pagkakatulog. Hoy, gising. Wake up because you have just been sleeping and do not know what's going on. You know, in the midst of this pandemic, I am sure the Lord is waking us up. The risen Lord is telling us, wake up from your sleep in your spiritual life. And I have really noticed in the many testimonies of many people, because of their experiences, their faith has been awakened by what is happening to us, this threat of the coronavirus. So let us be awake. And when we are awake, we become so sensitive of what is going on around us. We will become even more compassionate to people who are hungry. Those people who have nothing. And so we can share because now we are awake. We are able to answer to their needs in our own little ways. This is the meaning of to rise. Let us rise with Jesus, be awakened in our spiritual life, in our faith. The second level or meaning of to rise is to stand up. Tumayo ka sa iyong pagkadapa, as we say in Tagalog. In life, in our journey, we can fall. Maybe because of sin, maybe because of very painful experiences. And I'm sure many of us have felt you have fallen these days because of COVID-19. Especially those who are in the hospitals, whose members of their families are seriously sick. They can feel they are now down, knocked down by this coronavirus. And even more, the people who have lost their loved ones, they must have felt they are now down there, knocked by this pandemic. And the message of Jesus, this resurrected one, is stand up. I am with you. Take my hand. Take my hand, and I will lift you up. In your pain, in your sadness, in your grief, I will bring you to that glory one day. So stand up. Rise with Jesus today. And the third one is to fly, to soar, S-O-A-R. Rise like the plane, go up. Maybe some of us may not be directly affected. We are just here in our homes, but still are afraid, full of anxiety. And the message of the resurrected Jesus, the risen one, is rise up from your fears. Do not let it pull you down and bring you down. Do not let it stop you from doing good things for others. rise, fly up together with the risen one. You know, I was watching a clip of a young doctor named Dr. Espinosa. And it is so amazing, it is so touching when you listen to him. He was asked to give a reflection on the last of the 7 last words of Jesus. I would really invite you to watch it, and you will be inspired by his experience. And I could say he is one of those who is soaring. He is experiencing the resurrected God in Jesus. Why? You know, he's a doctor who has to take care of the sick. And he's telling us that he has to take a bicycle from Manila to Marikina to go to the hospital. He said that many his family, his friends offered that maybe they could bring him back and forth. But he declined and said, no, I don't want you. I don't want you to put you in danger, because it could be dangerous for you to bring me back and forth. Let me do it. I will be the one to face it. And he has to sacrifice taking the bicycle. And he tells us in his testimony that there are times he feels so sad because he's afraid. What if my family members will be infected? It will really weaken my resolution. But he's always saying, Lord, kayo na po ang bahala. I entrust everything to you. My life. I am here to help others live. He is one of those whom we can say, the person of Easter. This is also the message for all of us. Let us be people of Easter time. Let us be people who have the faith of the risen Lord. We believe that one day we will be with Jesus, sharing in His glory. We will be sharing that life that He wants to give us, the fullness of life in heaven. And this is the great meaning of Easter. Jesus telling us, don't be afraid. Have peace in your heart. I have conquered the world. I have conquered evil. And He's telling us He will conquer coronavirus by His death. So let us continue in this Mass with this inspiration, and let us rise. Rise from sleep. Rise by standing up for Jesus, and soar and fly with the risen one in our Christian life. Amen.